My name is Officer Jamie Keneally. It is October the 8th, so if you're watching right now and it's October the 8th at about 8 o'clock, tonight's show is in fact live. A couple of things we want to talk about. Big thing is, Red Sox recently won the ALDS. Yeah, we're all fired up, and now they take on the Tampa Bay D-Rays. But the big thing is how to behave. We're going to discuss that, how to behave as a fan. In addition to that, college kids. Love them and hate them. I mean, we love most of them, and I was a college kid at one time. But there's a right way and a wrong way to party, and we're going to get into that as well with tonight's guest, Captain William Evans. He's the commanding officer of Area D4. We'll get to the good captain in a second. But before we do, we'd like to take a look at some video and basically stories making news the past couple of weeks in the Boston Police Department. And we get some good stuff coming up, in fact. And I don't know if you saw this story or not, but the story of Officer Kaplan, and there we are. Bada boom, bada bing. There he is. Officer Kaplan. How's this for a great story? Keith Kaplan, I'm sorry. A couple of weeks ago, he's at home. He's pretty much asleep on his couch when he hears a woman screaming. So, of course, Officer Kaplan gets off his couch, looks outside the window. Upon looking outside the window, he sees a 73-year-old woman lying on the ground. So, of course, Keith springs into action, runs outside his house, come to find out she'd just been robbed and knocked down. So Keith gets on his police radio, and before you knew it, thanks to Keith getting the description out, the suspect who you can see in the far left was arrested. So great job, and kudos to Keith Kaplan. Other good stuff to tell you about. Junior Police Academy recently ended a great summer camp. Over 200 kids went through the program. Part of the Junior Police Academy, the kids get to go up to police headquarters, hang out with Commissioner Davis. Well, this was a scene 2 weeks ago over at Fenway Park, and we got to thank the Red Sox for making their one of their rooms available to the Junior Police Academy. This is Sergeant Michael O'Connor, the MC, and essentially end-of-the-year party. As you can well imagine, a chance to thank so many people. In fact, this is Abe Ayuso. And Abe, well, if you know Abe, he's all good, just a good guy. Works for the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. He's the guy who puts the tours, or conducts the tours, when the kids in the Junior Police Academy would head to the jail. So, good to see Abe Ayuso. But again, 200 kids, and this is, I can't say it enough, went through this year's Junior Police Academy. We caught up to Sergeant O'Connor during the ceremony, and he said, you know what, it's a great camp, and they're able to do some really great stuff with the kids because folks like the Red Sox and others come together to make this thing possible. Sergeant O'Connor, talk to us, please. No audio?
We need partnerships. We could still run the program. It wouldn't be as popular, as successful, or as enjoyable without our partners. We really need them and count on them. And pardon the pun, they've stepped up to the plate this year and helped us.
I love the pun. Great pun, Sergeant O'Connor. I want to tell you about this too. This is the scene recently at Boston Police Headquarters. Fox 25 reporter Michael Bodette recently dropping by the headquarters to talk about taxis. He sat down with Captain Robert Ciccolo, who is the commanding officer of the Hackney Carriage Unit. And it was an opportunity for Captain Ciccolo to talk about how the department now disciplines cab drivers, and according to Captain Ciccolo, it is now easier than ever before, and that's good news, easier than ever before, to report bad cabbies, if you will. So if you feel like you've been mistreated, if you feel like you've been overcharged, or you've been taken for a ride, well, again, all you got to do is report it, and Captain Ciccolo says it's easier than ever.
We have a telephone hotline, 617-536-TAXI. It goes to voicemail. You leave a message, and we'll get back to you with the complaint. We also have an email box, taxi.bpd@cityofboston.gov. In either case, the most important piece of information that we need is the medallion number. That's the little tin license plate looking thing on the back of the car, or it's painted on the trunk and painted on both front fenders. That number tells us what cab it is. You give us that, the date and the time, and we can figure out the rest.
Thank you, Captain Ciccolo. Again, that number 617-536-TAXI, 536-TAXI, if you're having a hard time with a cab driver. Okay, why are we showing you video from the Celtics parade. Well, let me tell you why. If all goes well, and I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse, but if all goes well and the Red Sox take care of business, we could again be witnessing another celebration. And of course, when the Celtics won and beat the Lakers in the NBA World Championship, some people celebrated, shall we say, responsibly. Some people not so good. We, of course, in the police department want to make sure people do the right thing and celebrate responsibly. So with that said, I want to welcome in tonight's guests, my old friend, my good friend, one of our great guests, Captain William Evans. Captain Evans.
Thanks, Jim. For having me.
All right, we showed some Celtic stuff, but the fact remains, and again, we're not getting too carried away, but we've seen a number of celebrations here in our time. I know you've seen plenty of them. And yes, we know that. But I mean,
How old am I there, Jim?
why, when our teams do well, why do some people, and I guess, and often it's, again, hey, if college kids out there, we've got a couple in the studio, and nothing I haven't said before, some college kids don't seem to understand how to and how not to behave, but when the teams do well, why is it some people don't seem to understand how to celebrate?
I don't know. I really don't know, Jamie. I think, years ago when the Celtics were in their heyday, they won every year, and there was never any of these issues, People celebrated, but they celebrated responsibly.
Yeah.
Starting back, I would say, when the Patriots first won the Super Bowl, I'm not sure the year, probably 7-8 years ago, when Tom Brady came on board.
2000, 2001, when they beat the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I think, all of a sudden we sort of seen something new that, especially the college kids just came out of the dorms,
Right.
and, all of them sort of came to Kenmore Square or Harvard and Brighton Ave out in Brighton, and, they just celebrated, but, most of them, I'd say, 95% of them, didn't create problems, but we had some problems as far as cars being flipped over.
A small percentage acted like complete.
Right.
I don't want to say idiots, but
Right.
some of them in the video, kids throwing barrels through windows, people flipping cars. It was not the majority, but the small minority who thought, okay, team winning championship means we have the right to create chaos.
Right. And that's troubling because, Boston, Massachusetts is supposed to have, the best and brightest college kids and universities. And it's still every year, like when with the Celtics, we had issues. We do a lot of outreach, Jamie.
Yeah.
But
That's why I love having you come on, because it answers. People I know are like, oh, what are the police doing? And it's like, well, there's no better person to answer the question as to what are the police doing in a proactive fashion than you. So what are you doing?